Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, welcome to today's new episode of the A Cup of Soda podcast. I can't believe we're already at 8 episodes. I'm going to be doing maybe 20 episodes per season. So, by episode 20, we'll have a season 2. But for now, welcome back. I'm so happy you guys are liking this, and today I actually have a requested video. Well, not just video, but audio, obviously, because you guys are probably listening through Spotify. If you aren't, you should. That really helps me out if you guys listen on Spotify as well. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you already watched it here. But please listen to the advertisement. Because that helps me out. So, but you don't have to. But if you want to, it's 30 seconds. So, anyway. So today, I'm going to be talking about like life, um, and like the life's purpose and things like that. Um, what I have to say is I am still like learning. I'm still trying to find my inner peace and finding um just what the meaning of life is. Um you can always hear people just come up with like reasons or things that make them happy and believe something. So I I do think it's really important that we do find our own purpose, because I think we'll be able to live life by its intended purpose to live the fullest. We're very like intelligent creatures. Um, and I believe it's for a reason. I believe it's um intended to for us to experience life differently from just animals. But I even feel like animals have their own destinies, have their own lives. Um, Even like we have a lot of comparisons from animals. We're all just trying to survive on this floating rock in space. For me, I'm trying to find my life's purpose and what's after life. And I feel like we forget to live in the moment when we're thinking of the future, and I am super guilty of thinking in the future. Um but I keep having to like remind myself, like, if you keep thinking in the future, you're going to miss the present. But what I could think of for life is try to make an impact in some form. Now, I'm not saying find a cure for a disease or something, but more like make an impact in the people around you. You know, like everything has like a domino effect. So you can be the change that will help the world. You don't know. We don't know. But if you're kind, if you're hopeful, if you like, I don't know how to explain it. If if you are willing to change and better yourself, you're already finding yourself. You're finding a way to make a positive impact in your life and in others. For me, I care about a lot of people. I want to help everyone, and sometimes it kind of like makes me feel defeated when I couldn't help the person. but I think it's important that we try. Sorry, I have like probably phlegm or something in my throat. But you just need to balance um your mentality. It's when you're facing with like mental illness and depression, anxiety, we don't have time to think of these kind of things, and it's extremely true, and it makes it really hard, especially to find a purpose, because it feels like life is just meaningless. It feels like we were born to die, and everything we do in the middle doesn't really matter. And in a sense, it kind of does. And it sounds kind of fucked up, and it kind of like throws out everything in the middle, like I just said. But life may or may not matter. But if you look at everything we've learned so far from like science and just everything, every little thing serves a purpose. We know animals have their own purpose, but I think we are at the top, so animals serve us a purpose for food, just like plants, trees and things like that. That all helps for us. I don't know if the world was designed for us. I'm not gonna be the person to be like, the world is ours or whatever, because that's not what I believe. But I do think that we were catered to when it comes to that. And I believe once we die, I believe we continue. I've been talking a lot with like my mentor and stuff about like reincarnation and how we're all connected, how our spirits are all like part of the same pot or something like that. I do believe that we take turns in living over and over. I used to watch a lot of like kids talk about their experience when they died, and I don't know if they're real or not. I didn't like look into it like crazy, because like it was already kind of creepy to think like one kid experienced 9/11 before he was technically born. Another one got murdered and found his remains. It's like those kind of things are like really creepy. But I do think that there's some truth to it. And I do believe that we have souls. And why we feel certain things. And it's just, there's things that science hasn't been able to explain. And it's really hard. Because there's always going to be critics that don't believe in spirits. And they have every right to be, in a sense. Because there's just so much that's like misconstrued, and it makes it an awful thing. Like religion can have its downfalls, and it can turn someone off from religion because of those awful things. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm like the crazy religious person. I'm a very spiritual person. I do believe in a creator. I do believe in souls, spirits, angels. Do I believe in hell? I hope so, because I believe bad people deserve punishment, because death can't be the only punishment, because there's people who don't deserve death that die. So why should they also be punished? So I do hope there's a hell. Now, depending on the people who go to hell, I don't believe that everyone that wants to be happy goes to hell. I don't believe that, because like I always believe in circumstance. I put um I put I put context always. I like, what's the reason for this to happen? There's always sometimes there's always a reason. I'm not gonna say there's always a reason, because there isn't, because there's horrible people that do things for no reason. But I do believe that there is a little bit of like, there's always a circumstance. And what I mean by this is, I'm gonna use the stealing an apple from a vendor or whatever. Now, if this homeless person who hasn't ate or whatever, needs to feed his family or himself or whatever, I believe if he stole an apple, he shouldn't go to hell, because sure, he took, but it was to help. It was to make sure they stay alive. They shouldn't go to hell. Even though in like the Bible you shouldn't steal, I believe that there is sometimes a reason to steal. It's not like you're stealing like an item. Like, it's not like you're stealing like my laptop. Like, you what? No. You know, it's food. It's something to survive off of. And you can beg for money or whatever, but there are horrible people that won't give you anything. So sometimes you gotta steal. And if you had to steal like an apple or something, water, so you can support your family, medicine, necessities that are marketed for taxes and stuff like that, I don't see a problem with it. If someone really needs it, they need it. So why are they going to be punished for it? They're just trying to make by. They're not trying to hurt anyone. So, but yeah. So I understand why some people might be turned off from religion, and why they feel like every kind of like thing they do will send them somewhere where people like Hitler go. And I felt that way too for a long time. It made me fear God. It made me fear religion. But I believe that our purpose is to bring peace, to make our planet better. We're doing such a horrible job with Earth right now. We are making it ugly. We have so much pollution. We have wars because no one can get along. Because no one can be like, you know what? Why aren't we grateful for what we have right now? Everybody just wants more. And for what? You're gonna die. Are you going to die and leave the aftermath for someone else? You're fucked up. You're just a fucked up person. And for you to consider taking someone else's life for land that won't be yours in like 100 years, it's so stupid. War is so pointless. It really is. Because we're constantly fighting, we're constantly conquering, quote unquote, land. When we can't just sit and be like, just appreciate life for what it is. Nature, all animals can get along for a sense. Obviously, the ones that hunt each other or dominance or whatever. But we all share Earth. Are you gonna kick everybody out of Earth and claim Earth as your for yourself? I'm surprised we haven't claimed Moon. we have to realize that life is so temporary, and we need to just get along, make friends, make families, because we have to do it for ourselves. We have to make ourselves happy and make each other happy. And then hopefully one day, I know this is wishful thinking, or maybe even a naive thinking, but I hope one day we can finally find peace, like world peace, because this is ridiculous. So many innocent people die because of other people's selfish actions, because of people's entitlement. So much entitlement in the world, thinking that things belong to you when they don't. It's a very sad reality that we live in, and I'm hoping one day that would change, because even if I'm not alive for it, I hope that it happens one day. And if I do have a spirit, I hope I could see it. Even if I'm not physically alive, I hope I can see the world become better. I want the world to become better. I want people to be better. There's so much ugly. There's so much awful people in this world, and they're awful people that I know. But you can't let those people like sour your time on earth. You have to find meaning in your own way. If that means traveling the world, seeing what the world is, or maybe studying the past and figuring out how to fix for the future. Everyone's purpose is different. Everyone's placement on earth is different. I don't believe everyone should do the same thing. And the reason why I say this is because I don't even know if this is on autofocus, or is it on... I wasn't on autofocus this whole time. Anyway. What was I saying with that? Oh. I don't believe everyone's purpose is cut and dry. Because if it was, then we wouldn't have what we have today. If everyone believed in the same thing, if everyone acted the same way, and there was no individuality, our world would have been so boring. Our world wouldn't be what it is today at all. Because everyone had to have a different interest. Everyone had to have a different outlook on life. Because if we didn't, then how would we invent things? How would we think outside the box? But yeah, I hope this is a good episode. I hope this maybe gives you guys a little bit of an insight to my little psyche. That I believe that our universe serves a purpose that we might never know. But I hope one day we do find out what our purpose is. Because I feel like living isn't our purpose. Well, I guess it is in a sense, but it isn't. Like, what is the grand scheme? And I feel like we think about that a lot. Like, what is the main purpose? Like, besides just living, what is our existence for? We live in a giant galaxy. Everything we do right now doesn't matter in the grand scheme of our existence, our entire universe. Now, if there's different universes that play out different scenarios, like every yes is a no and every no is a yes. But I'm not sure, you know? Maybe our universe has collided at one point. Maybe that's why we get so many deja vus. I get a lot of deja vus. And sometimes I have to stop and be like, what the fuck? This has happened before. And then I find out it hasn't, but it feels like it has, like very strongly. And I need to look that up about deja vu. I have, but I kind of forgot, so I'm not really sure on what to define it as. Um, but yeah, but I do believe in just the grand scheme of our existence. Like, we have some kind of purpose that we don't know. I think we find out when we die. I believe, like, once we die, we find out what our purpose is. Maybe it is to be guardian angels, you know? Maybe our purpose is to learn how to be human, so when we die, we can help humans, you know? Like, we're like robots, um, learning through life and seeing what life is. So when we die, we can continue. But who knows, you know? But before I leave, the last thing I'm gonna just say is be kind, be open, you know, help someone out who's struggling. You know, the world doesn't just revolve around you. Of course, you gotta make yourself happy at the end of the day, but if you have any time or whatever, please help someone else out. You don't know what they're going through, you don't know if they need the guidance. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you guys again later. And Kazoon tight.